Okay, so on this video here, we're going to learn how to calculate using scientific notation. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to clear my screen. Okay, so it's not so much that I need to teach you how to calculate with it because you're going to use a calculator for it, but it's that I need to teach you how to enter it into the calculator. So if you look on your paper, you have a problem, 2.5 times 10 to the fourth times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So the key here is how do you enter this scientific notation? And there's a very, very, very specific way of doing this. So you just start by typing it in, so 2.5, and this is where you want to make a big note. When you see that times 10, you hit the double E button down here, okay? So you hit that button, so 2.5, that little E, the double E button, and then whenever you see it on the screen, the capital E, that is your times 10. Okay, so you don't hit times, then double E, you don't hit the double E and then 10, you don't do any of that. It's just that is your times 10. Okay, so the double E button is times 10. So once again, so when you enter it in, it's 2.5. When you see the times 10, you're going to hit the double E button, and then you write what your exponent is. So 2.5 times 10 to the fourth. We're going to multiply that number by 6.02 times 10, so that's the double E button, times 10 to the 23rd, and then this is our answer. So one thing that students are always getting wrong whenever they do work for me with doing scientific notation is sometimes they'll just answer, because I tell you to give me two decimals, they'll just tell me, oh, the answer is 1.51. That is incorrect. That is not the answer, because if you look here, there's an E and then 28. And once again, that E stands for times 10. So that means that there is 25 zeros that need to be entered here. Okay, so I don't know about you, but if we were paying money, would you want $1.51 or would you want, what is that, like 1.5 gagillion dollars? Okay, it makes a difference. So you can't leave off this exponent here when it tells you this. So the way you would put this down for your answer is 1.51 times 10, because that's what the E stands for, to the 28th. You will never, ever use the letter E in an answer. It'll always be 1.51 times 10 to the 28th, or whatever your number is, times 10 to whatever it is. Okay, so anytime you see the E, you put times 10. Do not write the letter E. The only time that you may write the letter E is if I happen to assign you a Google Form assignment. If I give you a Google Form assignment, it will be in the instructions to remind you, do not put times 10, you'll use the letter E, because Google Forms does not like exponents, okay? Otherwise, this answer is 1.51 times 10 to the 28th. If you have a negative number, okay, so your next problem there is 3.2 times 10 to the negative 2. You enter it in the same way. Remember, the times 10 is this button here. And you just fill it out, times 10 to the negative 2. You're going to multiply that by 2.5 times 10 to the negative 3. And enter, and this is what we get here. So sometimes the numbers are not too large or too small or whatever else, that it'll come back like this. Now, in this case here, I tell you to give me two decimal places. Well, you give me two decimal places, it rounds to 0, but this is not 0. So you can either have your option of, you can either write it in scientific notation, or you can write out the answer. Scientific notation, you would have to turn this into scientific notation. So if you remember, I'm trying to see if I can get some tools here. I don't guess I have any tools. Okay, anyway, sorry, I was going to try to be able to write on here, but I can't. So remember that for scientific notation, you would take this decimal, move it to where there's one number to the left. So we would move it from here to here, so it'd be 8. The number of times we moved it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 8 times 10 to the 5th, but is the exponent going to be positive or negative? In this case, our number is less than 1, so it's going to be negative. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8 times 10 to the negative 5. Okay, or you can write out the answer. Now, sometimes, however, you may be doing this calculation and the answer choices you're given do not have this out, and your answer choices are in scientific notation. So that is why it's important for you to be able to write scientific notation, to go from this number here to scientific notation. Okay? So that's all there is to it. Like I said, I didn't really need to teach you how to calculate. I just need to teach you how to enter it in. So once again, when you enter in scientific notation, this double E button takes the place of times 10. Do not ever do anything else for times 10. It's anytime you see times 10 in a scientific notation number, it's a double E button.